For all who comes to this goofy place, welcome.
Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to another episode here on the Goofy Scoop podcast. Just Gray and I here. But Gray just got back from a Disney trip. And I have some questions to ask him because this is his first time back. Or
It's
not
lit.
first time back. His first time to go to Disney World since his Disney College program, unlike many of us, which I'm very surprised that it actually took you this long to get to Disney, even though post-college your life got very busy. So I actually do understand.
Hey, look, Disney's expensive. Okay, like when it's not for free, it's expensive. So
Very true.
here we are.
But yeah, so guys, that's what we're going to talk about today here on this episode. Kind of see what Gray thought about being back at Disney World, kind of seeing what he possibly didn't like. Because it sounds, I didn't talk to you a whole lot, but the little bit that I did talk to you about, it sounded like you had a little bit of saltiness behind your tone. So
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get started and see how it went. So what all did you do? Did you go to all four parks for sure? I hope. you
Okay,
did.
so I went with my mom. Just me and my mom, mother-son trip. It was a lot of fun. I went to all four parks. We did one park per day. We didn't do any park hopping. And we went, I forget the dates. Anyway, it was in February. And February is like not supposed to be busy at all. But
And
fun
it was
fact,
busy.
it was so busy for no reason. Like, why was it busy?
But there's really not a slow period of the year anymore. Like when people
Okay.
ask me that, they're like, Jeff, you go to Disney all the time. What's a slow period to go? What's a good time period to go? And I'm like, okay, you're asking me this question. You got to think of how many millions of other people are trying to go to this internationally known place. They're trying to go at a slow period as well. There's no slow period at Disney anymore.
No, I mean, you're right. But like, this was like Christmas crowds. Like,
Really?
it was bad busy.
Yeah, and Christmas
was
crowds are no
crazy.
joke.
No,
I
it
wonder
was
why.
insane. I don't know. I really don't know. It was like, I mean, the like rides, like even like the rides that no one wants to ride were like 45-minute waits.
Wow. Okay.
Like it like didn't make sense to me why it was so busy. But anyway, we'll start at where we started. So my mom and I came in late one night. Oh, you'll actually be really excited about this. Okay. So we came in really late one night. We stayed at Art of Animation for the first night and the first night only. We had a Little Mermaid room, which was like cute. But the Little Mermaid building was actually half a mile from the front desk.
Really?
Like
Just
it
felt
was
like a
actually
super long
so far. Yes. So we got there. Our flight landed at like 9:30 at night. So it took forever to get there. So like we didn't get back to our room till like 11:30. And of course, we're trying to wake up super early because we're trying to rope drop the next day. But yeah, it was we got there so late and we finally got our room key and they're like, here's your room. And we're like, okay, where is it? And they told us, and we're like, oh, that's not that far of a walk. No, it's so we were in the farthest building
1
on the Art of Animation
hour
property. It was like
later.
ridiculous. It was stupid. Anyway, we like finally got to the room, sat down, had a snack, and went immediately to bed. Anyway, our first park was Epcot. And as everyone pretty much knows at this point, when I did my college program, I worked at the boardwalk. And the boardwalk is within walking distance of the back gate of Epcot. And so Epcot didn't actually open until like 8:30 or 9, which is later than the other parks. Like it's a lot later. And so my mom and I went to the boardwalk and got breakfast at the bakery, and it was fantastic. We mobile ordered, got our little breakfast, and I walked in and got to see my girl. I mean, a few different people, but my girl B, she is a coordinator there, and she's the best. Love you, B, if you're listening.
Shout out B.
She gave us some muffins and crumb cake on top of everything else we'd already ordered. It was great. Anyway, it was a good morning to start off. We got our resort mugs, we filled them up, like it was great. But that morning we left the resort, went to the boardwalk. We got in line for the Skyliner because we took the Skyliner to get to Epcot because it takes you to the back entrance of Epcot to get into the back entrance because the front entrance is too far away. And I'll explain that in a second. Anyway, we get in line. There's like a lot of people at the back entrance, but it's not like incredibly crazy, but it is like a lot more than you would think in the back entrance of Epcot. It's like, why do all these people know about the back entrance all of a sudden? But I do think it has to do a lot with Remy's Great Adventure, whatever it's called, the Remy Ratatouille, the new ride in France.
Remy ride.
Yeah, the new ride in France.
I think it also has to do a lot though too with the Skyliner as well. Skyliner really opened up the back entrance a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so the back entrance to Epcot, you're like right next to France. So my mom and I get in line, we get through. The park doesn't actually open till like 9 or 9:30, but we are through the gate by like 8:45. And then we immediately go to Ratatouille because we know if we don't do that first, the line's gonna be so long that like we can't ride it. And I really wanted to ride Ratatouille. It's a brand new ride. I'd never ridden it before, so we went. If you haven't ridden it, fantastic ride. There is a lot of screens, which I'm like sad, like unfortunate to see, but the props, like, and it works. It's great. You shrink down to the size of the mouse, you go through France. It's really pretty. So yeah, a lot of fun, great ride, super cute. I suggest that everyone does that. And we only waited in line once the ride actually started. We only waited in line maybe 20 minutes, but I also think part of that is because Lightning Lane doesn't start until 30 minutes after park open. And Lightning Lane and Fast Pass are what make the line so long. So I'm just gonna throw it out there, like get rid of all of it. Anyway,
you don't want to be the problem, but then with Lightning Lane, you end up
get rid of Lightning Lane. It's so dumb. Also, my mom and I did not pay for Genie Plus. We did not pay for Lightning Lane. We were just like, no, like we're not doing it. It's too much money. And so we waited in line. It really wasn't that long of a line. We like went in, did it, whatever. Then we left there and we went about our day. We rode Soarin', we rode Test Track, we rode Living with the Land. We did all the fun stuff. We also, best meal of the entire trip. Let me tell you, my friends, it might be kind of expensive, but it is so worth it. My mom and I got reservations for Space 220.
Did you really?
And yes, and we were very lucky. We like didn't think we were going to, but our travel agent's the best, and she got us reservations.
Was the food out of this world?
Oh my god, it was so good. It was so like the food was so good. The service was amazing. The atmosphere was great. The whole experience, it was just so good.
What did you order?
My mom got the like flank steak. Yeah, I'm getting there. And then I got a burger. We were both gonna get the steak, but I was like, we should get different things, and then we can split it and like try the different things.
Smart idea.
It was really good. We also went at lunchtime, so the price is a little bit cheaper. But she got like steak and like little baby potatoes, I guess. And I got a burger and their like potato wedge fries, which both were like so good. So we split it. It was really good. And then they offered us dessert, but we could not eat it because you get an appetizer and a dessert each. So you got like, and when I say appetizer, it's like a salad or like a soup. It's like something for you. It's not like a shareable for the table.
Mm-hmm.
We both got different types of salad. I got the Caesar and she got something that had like apple vinaigrette on it. I don't know what it was called, but it was fantastic. Our waitress, her name was Alex. Shout out if you get her and you go. She's fantastic. Tell her we said hello. She doesn't remember us, but that's fine. She was so good. I mean, the whole experience was so good. Then we left space and came back to Earth. We got to go do some shopping and we also bought the photo pass, which again is another one of those things that's like kind of expensive, but like we got so many. Every single time we saw a photo pass person, we took a picture. We were like, we paid for it, we're gonna take pictures.
See, but I think photo pass is worth it way more than lightning lane now that I'm older, for sure.
Yes,
just for the simple
1000% agree.
Yeah, just for the simple fact of if you know me like Gray does, I'm a very nostalgic person. I take photos and videos every chance I get. So, photo pass, it's a dream for me.
Yeah, we did photo pass. We did not do lightning lane, but like we got so many pictures. I mean, like hundreds of photos of us because every single person we stopped and took a photo. We did all the different poses, everything you could possibly do. We did it. It was fantastic. There's this really awesome picture across from Spaceship Earth near Nemo that at nighttime they do this like light bar, like slow motion, slow oh, what's it called? Like capture.
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah,
I can't think of what's called.
Yep. I know
Anyway,
exactly
very
what
cool
you're talking
photo.
about.
I highly suggest it. Really cool. We got to see the lights on Spaceship Earth, what they look like. We also got to see Harmonious, which that was really good. I'm sure that's like a whole other episode that we'll talk about the different shows, because there's a
Yeah,
lot more to discuss.
we definitely do need to.
Yes.
The shows,
But
yeah.
yeah, that's like a whole other thing. But yeah, really good. We pretty much did all of Epcot. We rode. I said Soarin' Test Track. The only thing we didn't ride was Mission Space because I hate Mission Space, and we didn't ride it.
You don't even like the green version of it?
No, I hate it.
Really?
Like the green one makes me sick. I like airplanes make me sick, so like Mission Space makes me sick.
Yeah.
So like it's fine. But we didn't ride that, but pretty much everything else we did. But we went to space when we ate lunch, and it was way better than Mission Space. So that's what I suggest you do. Yeah, it was the Festival of the Arts. So we like saw a lot of the art things. I bought some really cool postcards that they had. There was good music going on. We
The
even
only
rode
affordable
Figment.
thing is the
Shout out.
postcards.
Oh, well, the postcards were like $6 each, but you know, the rest of I like wanted a framed canvas. You like look at the framed canvas and they're like $300, and you're like, oh, never mind. I'll just take a picture of it. Thanks.
Because then I have to pay another extra fee to send it home. So no, thank you.
Yeah, because it won't fit my suitcase or it'll get crushed or whatever. Anyway, yeah, that was pretty much Epcot. We snacked a little bit, but we didn't get like fancy snacks. Just kind of like general stuff. Oh, wait. Okay. I went to Club Cool because it's reopened and I'd never been there before.
Really? Like even like
yeah,
with the old one?
No, I never went.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that was a cool experience. But I was like, I need to go to Club Cool. I just want to try like all the stuff because they had like some new flavors and that kind of thing. And I knew that your favorite was the Beverly, so I had that one.
That is not my favorite.
And that one's really good.
Ugh.
Yeah. No, the Beverly is the worst one. But
It's
anyway,
disgusting.
I tried all of them, and the only one that was like kind of palatable was the Sprite from Russia, and it tasted like fluoride that you get at the dentist office.
Yeah, it's rough stuff.
Like nothing else was good. Not like no, it was just gross. And I was like, I'm never coming back here again. Glad I did it once. Never coming back here again.
They had like this watermelon Fanta. I don't remember exactly where it was from. At the old Club Cool, that was really, really good. But I didn't see it at the new one on my last visit.
Yeah, I don't think they have that anymore.
So
I don't know. I like had to wash. I had to like go get a drink to wash my mouth out because all I had was water. I was like, I need something with flavor to like wash.
I need something better than water.
Anyway, yeah, but we did a lot. We did not really go into a lot of the countries. We went into Canada because we wanted to watch the show they have in Canada. But we didn't really do much else. There's not like a lot going on. But we saw Harmonious, which was a fantastic show. Again, I'm sure we'll have another episode on that. Stayed late, went back. During the day, our bags got moved to Jeff's favorite resort, Pop Century.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get excited about, huh?
Yes. It was my first time ever staying at Pop Century. And that was a good experience. We stayed in a 50s room. Yeah, 50s room.
Yeah, 50s.
Right by the bowling pin swimming pool.
Yep.
Which was a great experience. Made friends with some of the lifeguards because those poor people had to sit. There was no one in the pool the whole time because it was freezing in Florida.
They
still
had to sit out there,
the
yeah.
entire trip. They still had to sit out there. I felt so bad for them. I went over there and I was like, hey, thanks for doing your job because like this seems awful. Like no one is swimming right now.
I'm so glad I didn't get a lifeguard position on my program.
Oh my gosh, I just felt so bad for them. It was awful. Anyway, the next day we went to Animal Kingdom. I think no. Yes.
Can't remember.
I think it. Oh gosh, I think it was Animal Kingdom. Actually, I'm like pretty positive at Animal Kingdom because we did like a full park day, like at Epcot, and then we did like a half park-ish day because like there's no nighttime show at Animal Kingdom. So like we didn't have to stay all night. Like once we did everything we wanted to, like we were done. And then we did Magic Kingdom, and then we did Hollywood. We ended with Hollywood Studios. Okay, yeah, great.
So you did park hop?
No.
Oh, maybe I just understood that wrong. I thought you went to Animal in the morning and then Hollywood at night.
No. That was full day. So Epcot was Friday, Animal Kingdom was Saturday, Sunday was Magic Kingdom, Monday was Hollywood Studios. We left on Tuesday.
Okay. Yes. Misunderstood that.
Okay, so Animal Kingdom on Saturday. So we get there, and I wasn't feeling like super great that morning. So we were not there right at rope drop. Not for resort guest rope drop anyway. We got there in time for like regular rope drop, but resort guests were already let in. So a lot of the lines were already really long. Flight of Passage was already like an hour and a half, and like some of the other ones. So we went to Kilimanjaro Safaris. Shout out Harambe Reserve. That's the hat I'm wearing right now.
Nice hat. Nice hat.
Got all these pins with it. Anyway, really enjoyed it, and that was really cool. So we went in the morning.
What is the price of that hat? What's the price of that hat?
Great question. Let's find out right now. Live, we're gonna take out because I haven't taken the tag off yet. $39.99.
I was going to say it had to have been a little bit more than the average hat with all the pins on there as well, because the pins are removable.
Yes, it was. Yeah, the pins are removable. It was a little bit more than like an average hat, but you get 4 pins and a fantastic hat. I personally think it's a great deal. But that's just me.
It is a good deal.
Yeah, but we went to Kilimanjaro Safari first, and that was really cool to see in the morning because all the animals were up and about. Like the lions were out and moving, like not just laying there. The rhinos were doing stuff. The giraffes had just been let out, and they were like crossing the road in front of us to go eat. So yeah, the okapi were out doing some crazy stuff. The hippos were breathing. So it was like a good time. That was really cool. I swear the person that was driving the truck I've had as my guide before. I'm pretty sure their name is Jenny. I don't know, but I was like, I know this person. So like I've heard this person's voice before. They've been at Disney forever. So through COVID, they're back. Praise God. Then what else did we do? Oh, let's see. So Everest was closed because it's down for refurb.
I forgot about that.
Able to ride Everest. It also was so cold. We refused to do Cali River Rapids. It's like that was out of the question.
I don't care how hot it is. I'm not doing Cali River Rapids.
I love Cali River Rapids. I don't want to hear your mess. Anyway, we then went to the best show in all of Disney World, the Festival of the Lion King. Welcome to our world.
Now the warthogs.
Okay. That show was fantastic as it always is. Unfortunately, it's a lot shorter than it used to be, and it just really makes you cry. It doesn't have the monkeys.
Yeah. No tumble monkey.
The birds don't fly in the air because they have to like touch each other to get the hook on them. So like they don't do that anymore. They just kind of dance in circles. So that was just really sad. So it was really unfortunate to see that kind of thing, but also it was good to see that we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
But like the show itself was still really good, very nostalgic. I loved it. It was good. The whole time we were there, I was looking for a Mickey Mouse popcorn bucket. Could not find one.
Really?
Because I was told that we could get it at Animal Kingdom, and I couldn't find it. I found Minnie, but I didn't want Minnie. Couldn't find it. We did watch Kite Tales, which was really good. I enjoyed watching the kites go in the air and crash into the ground. There was a guy on a jet ski that came out before and like said everything in the safety spiel and like the beginning of the show, which I thought was hilarious.
I do remember that.
Something that I would do in my regular life.
What comes really up must go
come down. Yeah. And then my mom and I also figured out that it's a different show every time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we watched it and they had like Baloo from the Jungle Book. They had that kite and whatever the monkey's name, like orange monkey's name is. they had him. It was like a lot of Jungle Book characters. And then my mom and I went to ride Dinosaur. We rode Dinosaur, and then we were coming out, and we were like crossing the bridge towards Flame Tree Barbecue, like back into like the main area. And they had Simba, and like Zazu, and like a couple of other like ones flying around. And I was like, oh, this is like the Lion King. It's like still kite tails, but it's like the Lion King kites, because we talked about some of them are landing in the water. We are like,
Yeah.
oh, they need to like dry out before the next show, probably. And so they do. So they have different, there's like a couple different shows.
Which makes sense.
They're probably, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. They're probably similar. But like, if I would have known, I would have watched the second show. Like I would have watched both of them.
Because I saw the Lion King show.
Like, it was good. Yeah,
I saw the Lion King version, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. I mean, it's definitely. Yeah. I feel like it's more so for kids' attentions for sure. I mean, at 26 years old, I was kind of like, okay. I mean, there's 26-year-olds that are gonna enjoy stuff like kite tails. I'm one of those where I was like, I'll watch it once or twice. I'm good.
I'm 24 and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Would watch again. 10 out of 10 recommend.
Would you watch it every time though? Like every time you went to Animal Kingdom, you'd be like, I have to watch kite tails. Like everybody leave me alone. I gotta go watch
I wouldn't say I have to watch it, but I mean, since at like Animal Kingdom there isn't a ton to do, I would sit down and watch it.
Okay.
Like, it's a good show. I would watch it. Especially if I'm trying to make Animal Kingdom like a full day.
Yeah, true. Which Animal Kingdom is hard to make a full day, in my opinion.
It is. Yeah. Anyway, we went and rode Dinosaur. By that time, it was about lunchtime, so we were walking over towards Flame Tree Barbecue. We had Flame Tree for lunch, which was fantastic. I love Flame Tree Barbecue. Highly recommend. And then the only thing we had left to do that we wanted to do was Flight of Passage. And my mom kind of wanted to do the Navi River Journey, which I also love, which like I was good with that too. So we went towards Flight of Passage. We were like, whatever, like we're gonna do it. So the wait was at 4 hours.
Oh,
we like, let's see what Navi River Journey is. Navi River Journey was at 70 minutes. Well, we were like, oh, let's go to Navi River Journey first. Like we'll wait the hour for it. Like whatever, we'll do it because we weren't doing anything else.
Yeah.
So then we like went over there. When we got to Navi River Journey, the wait time had jumped to almost 2 hours because Flight of Passage went down. And they're like, we don't know when it's going to come back. Like, it's down for a while, blah, blah, blah. My mom and I were like, okay, we're done. Like, we're not.
Yeah, we're not going to ride these rides today.
I'm not doing this. Yeah. So we didn't ride Flight of Passage, unfortunately, as much as I love that. I'm not going to wait 4 hours for that. And then it went down. Like, I'm not doing that. Sorry, friends. I feel like I have stuff all over my shirt. Anyway.
So that was day 2.
That was day 2.
So day 3.
Day 3, Magic Kingdom. Here we go. The main event. We're there early in the morning. We're there all night because we have Disney Enchantment and all the good stuff. So we got there. We went. We rope dropped. We were planning on rope dropping Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So we like followed the crowd over there. You know, there's always a huge crowd. By the time we got in line for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, it was over an hour. And I was like, Mom, this ride is not worth it.
No.
It's not that good of a coaster. I'm sorry, it's just not. So instead, we rope dropped everyone else's second favorite ride, The Little Mermaid.
Oh,
and great. Well, here's the thing. When they open the park for resort guests, they open Tomorrowland and they open Fantasyland. They don't open Adventureland. They don't open Frontierland. So like we couldn't go straight to Jungle Cruise. We couldn't go straight to Big Thunder. Splash was closed for refurb. We couldn't go to Pirates. Like all of that was closed until park open, not just park resort open. And so we were like, okay. So we went and rode Little Mermaid. We were going to ride it anyway. My sister loves that ride. So my mom and I were like, let's go and ride it and take pictures and send it to her and make her jealous.
Evil.
We did. And that, hey, it was fantastic. Then we left there and went straight to Jungle Cruise. Got on Jungle Cruise. It was fantastic. We got to see the backside of water, which I haven't seen in a very long time. And
I haven't seen
then
any of this in a very long time. Like I was like,
I know it was just like so good. It was so good. And then we kind of like did the park backwards from there. We did Pirates, we did Big Thunder, um, like kind of like followed the park around. We did It's a Small World because you have to. It's a classic. I don't care who you are, you have to do it. Um, went towards Fantasyland. We did Dumbo. We went shopping around there. My mom loves the teacups. I hate the teacups.
let's just say anything that spins or drops, you can't do it, right?
I can't do it. So my mom did the teacups later. Well, I haven't gotten there yet. Okay. Then was it lunchtime yet? Have we gotten to lunch? Yes, it's lunchtime. So we like left Small World and we went to Peter Pinocchio House. I think that's what it's called. Fantastic
right by the
food.
carousel.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Fantastic food. We mobile ordered, went in, grabbed a bite to eat. For the 50th, they have new flatbread pizzas, and those are so good. Like, highly recommend the flatbread pizza. Then we went into Dumbo right after that. Then we went towards Tomorrowland. I know what you're all thinking. You're like, he skipped the worst ride, of course, and then he went to like the good rides, whatever. So we did the People Mover, best ride in Tomorrowland.
It's the best ride for people watching.
Best ride for people watching. We had to do that. I'm
Shout out t-shirt.
1000% sure. Oh, I was gonna say I'm 1000% sure I Snapchatted you when I was on that ride, but I did because that was when we did our happies and crappies for the week.
Yep.
Which, fun fact, my friends Jeff and I and our friend group do happies and crappies every week, and I highly suggest that you get a friend group that does that because it's just like so good.
As I say, every
anyway.
Sunday or almost every Sunday, I think we've only accidentally skipped 2 Sundays ever since the first Sunday of 2020.
Yeah, something like that. We like all left Disney. I don't know.
So I guess it's like one skip a year so far.
Yeah. We are in Tomorrowland and we're like, what are the good rides to ride? We're like, Buzz Lightyear, that one's like good, but it's like not that great. Like we did the People Mover. Like, what's better than that? Like Space Mountain, like, like that one's okay, I guess.
Space Mountain's great.
So Space Mountain's okay, but the best ride in all of Tomorrowland that I forced my mom to go on to, you're gonna love this. We didn't ride Space Mountain. The line was way too long. It was like 2 hours. We were like, we're not riding that. So we rode Tomorrowland Speedway.
I was about to say, I remember you Snapchatting me on or not on it, but in line for Speedway, and I was just like, man,
yes,
we've talked crap about this ride so much, but I'm so happy he's riding it.
Okay. So like this is what was going through my mind. I was like, I want something else to do. Like we have a lot of time to kill until the fireworks start. Like I don't want to wait 2 hours for Space Mountain. Like I don't want to waste time waiting in line. As much as like a good thing that is to do. I'm not trying to do that. I don't want to wait for Space Mountain. Tron is still not open. Hurry up, Disney. Finish Tron. But I was like, Mom, Tomorrowland Speedway is only a 15-minute wait.
Which like, I don't think it's ever been any higher since like opening day.
I know, probably not. But I was like, Mom, let's do it. She's like, Gray, that ride is awful. And I was like, I know. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's awfully tempting, Mom. Let's go.
Also, in case you guys didn't know, that ride was made for 3-year-olds. So fitting 2 grown adults in this car is impossible. And on top of that, I had bought like a bunch of merch. And so it was very difficult to fit
full car
in the thing. Yeah, it was rough. But we did do that ride and it was great. I learned that it's very important not to text and drive because every time I took out my phone to try to take pictures, I kept like hitting the
ding 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 ding.
Like it was so bad. There was somebody in front of us. We like couldn't go fast, whatever, all the regular things, all the reasons that no one likes Tomorrowland Speedway. But I was so proud to say that I went on that ride. I was like, I went on Tomorrowland Speedway. It was great. Yeah, that ride's so bad. They need to redo it. Anyway. So then my mom and I, this is where. So we're sitting after we did that. We're sitting in Tomorrowland. And I'm like, all right, what's next? And my mom, I was like, I know you really want to do the teacups. So I told my mom to go do the teacups while I crossed the park to go buy a t-shirt that I really wanted. Um, and so I like went all the way back across the park to buy the t-shirt. My mom read that. She had a blast. She didn't have to walk all the way across the park. She has a lot shorter legs than I do. So it just worked. And then we met back up in front of the castle, got some castle pics with no one behind it. So just us there, which is great.
Which seems like it's been easier
Um,
and easier to do every time I go to
I
Disney.
think since it like got to the point where there was no one behind you, they've like people have been just like more conscious about it and been like, oh, let's like let's do this. Like let's
Yeah.
make this a thing. Um, so I just think that's better. We went back to Pinocchio House, had dinner because we like really couldn't find anywhere else to go. Like we didn't want like a burger, we didn't want a hot dog from Casey's. Like we went back to Pinocchio's,
Dude,
and
those
this
hot dogs from
time,
Casey's are so good though. They're
I know my mom
huge.
doesn't like hot dogs. My mom doesn't like hot dogs. We didn't go there.
Okay.
But this time I got the chicken tenders. My mom got a salad. Both great. And then after that, we went and got a spot for, oh my gosh, got a spot for fireworks. Watch the fireworks. They were fantastic. Again, I'm sure we'll talk about those on another show. I don't want to give all my thoughts about that. That's a whole other episode. And
Yeah, I'm very upset with I will say this, I'm very upset with that show. Very upset.
I'm not going to give any of my thoughts because
Another episode.
save it for
Another
another
time.
episode. Yeah, it's another time. But yeah, that was our night. Took the bus back to Pop Century, and yeah, that was it that night.
And then studios.
And then
for
studios the
for
next day,
4.
we rope dropped Mickey and Minnie's because I had never ridden that before.
What'd you think of it?
I thought it was a great ride. I really liked it. I think we might have been like the first or second group that got on the ride. Like there was hardly anyone in front of us. And so the girl that was like doing the pre-show thing, it's another one of those pre-shows, kind of like Rock and Roller Coaster, where they like talk to the screen. And I love that.
Yep.
I just love it so much. The girl was like super into it. She was like, oh, hey, Goofy. Da, 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 da. Like had the conversation. It was so good. If I was one of those cast members, like shout out her. I don't know what her name was. I wish I did because I would have given her a cast compliment, but I loved that. I love when they do that. I love bring more of that. I loved going into the cartoon. The way they do that is so great. I wasn't expecting the way that they like get you into the story. I'm not going to ruin it for anyone, but that's great. The ride itself, super cute. It was a lot of fun. And the song I added to my playlist. I listen to it all the time.
Nothing can stop us now.
I don't know. Yeah. So that was great. And then of course we had to go to Toy Story Land. And we got in line for the best ride in all of the world, Slinky Dog Dash.
How was it being back on Slinky Dog?
It was so good. Got to the top as usual, and I went Slinky Dog and screamed it the whole way. And that was great. And I did my normal reading of the Spanish safety instructions for everyone around me in line. So that was really good. My mom and I got a great photo on that ride as well. And what did we do? We went to Galaxy's Edge. We did not do any of the rides because the lines were stupid long. I mean, Rise, of course, but
yeah,
Millennium
absolutely.
Falcon even was like Smuggler's Run was like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I was like, Mom, it's just not worth it. Like, here's Galaxy's Edge, but the ride itself is just not worth it.
Yeah.
So we didn't do that. Then we went around. We did. I guess we did absolutely nothing. We walked around.
We just walked around, you know.
I mean, we really did. We walked around through like Grand Avenue. We went to Backlot Express for lunch, which was great. I love their food. Their burger with like the pork on it was really good. And we had. I'm forgetting. How did I forget this? I'm crazy. We of course went to go see the Frozen show. And my girl Aria and my man Eric, which
just Eric.
Just Eric. Yeah, not Sir Eric, just
yeah,
Eric.
just Eric.
I was very happy to see that my girl Aria was back, the same Aria as before. She was fantastic as usual. My favorite Just Eric was not there this time, but the person who was Just Eric did a good job. So I was very proud of that. I laughed and sang along the whole time, along with the 3-year-olds around me. Let it go. And it was great. It was fantastic. It was such a good time. At this point, we looked at the Indiana Jones show and we were just like, it's like another 45 minutes. I don't want to wait that long. And I was like, well, we need to at least like go towards Tower. My mom did not want to do Rock and Roller Coaster. I didn't want to do Tower. So there really wasn't anything like over in that direction. But I was like, we need to go get a picture in front of Tower. Like there's some PhotoPass people. We need to go over there at least get some pictures.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we did that. Went over towards Tower. This guy was like sitting on a walker thing. He was like the PhotoPass person. Nobody was talking to him because he was like
yes
in like a sitting thing.
What was his name? Do you remember his name? I remember not working with him, but I remember seeing him backstage in Celebrity Five and Dime, and he would walk through. I don't remember his name. Sweetest guy ever, though. This was before he had the
so
walker.
Nice. He was so nice, and he didn't even stand up. He just sat in the walker, and he was like standing right there. Click, click, and I was like,
yeah,
really, I bet those pictures are terrible.
They
were fantastic photos.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened, of course, because I didn't stay in contact with him. But when I was on my program, he was hyper, moving around a lot better, obviously. But in my
probably COVID. Let's be honest, that slowed everybody down.
Possibly, I don't know, but I remember seeing him in September on the day that we went to studios, and I saw him with a walker, and I was just like, wow, like it felt like it happened yesterday, but a lot can change in 2 years is where I'm getting at, Yeah. And I was just like, man, I don't remember his name, but sweetest guy ever in PhotoPass.
Yeah. He was so nice. He like made jokes. He was so funny. It was good. Yeah. Then we left studios. There's no nighttime. Fantasmic is still not back.
I know. They're bringing it back, but it's not back yet.
I know they are. Yeah. But yeah, so there wasn't really anything for us to stay. So we went and either Animal Kingdom or Hollywood Studios. I really don't remember. It doesn't really matter. We went to Disney Springs. We like walked around Disney Springs, went shopping there. We went to the Character Warehouse at the shopping center that's like near Patterson and Commons and all that. So we got out a little bit, but it was good. It was a good time. We really had a lot of fun. The next day it was raining when we left, which like thank goodness, because like it always stinks when you're leaving and it's like a beautiful day because it just makes it worse to leave. Like we didn't want to leave anyway and it was raining, but like it just makes it worse when it's a nice day.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, the day we left, our flight wasn't until like that evening. But we just kind of hung out in the hotel room until we had to check out, and then went and got lunch at the Pop Century quick service area and hung out in there, shopped in the gift shop, and flew home that evening. Yeah, that was a quick overview of my trip. I went in like pretty good detail, but quick overview. Yeah. It was a good time. Lots of pictures, lots of great memories with my mom that I will cherish forever and always. And I hope we get to go back soon. Good time.
So after doing a quick overview of what your trip or how your trip went, what exactly you kind of did on the daily, which was, I guess, like average, nothing like, don't take offense to this. Nothing like special or like crazy happened.
No. We didn't do anything crazy.
Yeah. Average Disney trip, right? Like you saw great things. You did great things. Yep. You know what to do. Yeah. However,
I forgot to mention the day we went to Animal Kingdom, we had reservations for dinner at the Boardwalk. We went back to the Boardwalk, ate at the Trattoria, and then we got ice cream afterwards at Boardwalk Ice Cream. Yes. Boardwalk Ice Cream is not even close to being the same as Ample Hills. It's not as good. The prices are still just as high.
And quality.
Go to Beaches and Cream instead.
Dude, Beaches and Cream is so good.
Just go there instead. Ample Hills used to be the place. No. Boardwalk Ice Cream. No, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, with you answering it like that and having the changes that we've actually gone through and you not being back with Disney changing, or or like you haven't been back since Disney has had the changes since your program. Because last time you were
Yeah.
there, Ample Hills was there, right? In
Yeah, it was.
2019.
Yeah, I was leaving. I was working there. That was the last time I was there. Yeah.
Yeah. So my biggest question to you, and the question I've been holding on to for so long, didn't even want to ask you outside of the podcast.
Yeah.
How did it overall feel? Because I went through this. I mean, I think I'm just now getting to the point where it's like I don't think about it as much, but probably like my first 2 or 3 times back, out of what, 4 or 5 of the times I've been back, the first 2 or 3 were pretty
Yeah.
hard for me because I would just kind of have that. My mentality was stuck in the program.
Mhm.
I was like, I wonder if these people are working. I wonder if they're working. Like, man, I wish these people were working. Like, how did it
Yeah.
feel overall to be back?
Okay,
Because I know you
so
Snapchatted us a couple times and you were like,
I
AJ, I
did.
wish you were working, or like, where's
Yeah.
Miranda?
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
like,
did. I did do that. So, okay. So, we'll start at the boardwalk because that's where I worked. Um, and walking into the boardwalk, I'm lucky that a lot of the people I worked with who were full time are still there.
oh, that's
Um,
nice.
yeah, a lot of them are still there, whether that was their choice to still be at the boardwalk, versus like somewhere else in the park or something like that. I don't know. But a lot of them are still there. I mean, walking in, I was like, oh, I wish, these people from my college program were working. Like, I miss them. They live hours and hours away from me. Some of them live in other countries. Like, it's a whole thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so like that was hard, but honestly, just like walking back into the bakery was like, wow, like this is incredible. I was asked a couple times to throw a costume on and get behind the counter, um, by different people because they were short staffed as usual at the boardwalk and they desperately needed help and they would do anything to have me back. But I told them no, I paid for my trip and I wanted to enjoy it with my mom. As much as I honestly, as much as I didn't like working at the bakery, I would do another shift there in a heartbeat. I would do another closing shift there in a heartbeat. And I did not like to close the bakery. So yeah, I mean, it was so much fun. I really like when they were like, go put a costume on. I was like, bet, like challenge accepted.
Yeah.
I didn't, but I kind of wish I could. Yeah, it was a good time. Walking into Boardwalk Ice Cream, it's just not the same. It wasn't Ample Hills. They don't make their own waffles. They don't even have like waffle cones. The ice cream's not the same. It's just like meh. Trattoria was the same. Their menus changed a little bit. But the food was good, same atmosphere. A lot of the same waiters and waitresses were there, so that was cool. As far as the parks go, I personally feel that I was lucky enough not to work in a park. Um, because I think when you work in a park, you get used to so many people working. You go different places, you go to a ride, you go to a store, and you're like, oh, is this person working? Is this person working? Because you worked with them, you saw them every single day.
Yeah.
But I was lucky enough not to do that. My only memories in the park were my time off. Um, so I didn't really get to know a lot of the people in the park other than the people I like knew, like you and Kylie at Oscars, and I was like, oh, where are they? And then I went by the boat, and Miranda wasn't there, and like at Disney Springs, like AJ wasn't driving a boat, but like those types of things, like I wish you were there. But also it was like, oh, they're back in their apartment napping, like they're not working right now. So like that's just not like that didn't impact me as much. Um, but I don't think walking into the parks had the same impact on me this time as I felt like it would have 2 years after being there or after
Yeah.
not being there. When I walked into Epcot, I was like, we need to go to Remy's. Went to Remy's, did it. And then after that, I was like, oh, what are we going to do now? Let's just walk around. Let's hang out. I didn't have anything. I was like, I really have to do this. I really want to do this. Let's go get in line for this. I didn't have anything I wanted like in that sort of case. At Epcot, we went to Animal Kingdom and I was like, oh, I really want to do Flight of Passage. I really want to do the safari. But when we got to the point of like Flight of Passage was a really long line and then it went down, it was like, oh well, we've done it before. Let's leave. Um, so like that didn't have a big thing. oddly enough, I think the memories hit me the most when we were taking pictures. My mom and I were taking pictures. Um, we went to the back of the tree at Animal Kingdom, took a photo of that photo of all six of us, like the
In
best photo we
in
ever
that
took
same spot.
together, same spot. Um, and I think that was like, I was like, dang, like I have a picture of myself, like with my arms like out wide, just being like, let's Photoshop all my friends in this. Um, just because that like that was hard, honestly, just being like, dang, like I'm not here with them. But at the same time, like I was there with my mom, which like was great. It was so fun. Um, and I don't get to spend a lot of time just me and my mom. So that was really good. But it was hard kind of like being back and just like not having y'all around. Um, Magic Kingdom did not do anything to me. Walked into Magic Kingdom and I was like, wow, the castle's ugly. Called it. And then like kept
Called
walking.
it.
Like I don't like the pink. It looks a little bit better with like the 50th decorations and stuff, but like I still don't
Yeah.
like the pink. I think it's like change it back, please. Um I we like did all the things I wanted to do in Magic Kingdom. We didn't get to do space, but like fine. I've done it a million times, whatever. Like that didn't bother me. The park that gave me the most energy walking into was Hollywood Studios. It's my favorite park. Um, I also think like maybe because most of y'all worked, I mean, three of the six of us worked in Hollywood Studios. And so going there was like, oh, Jeff, Kylie, Miranda. Um, and I did think about y'all when I like passed your work locations and we went into um, all the stores like at the front. And I was like, if I don't go in these stores, like I feel like I'm doing a disservice to Kylie and Jeff. Um, but we like went into them and just kind of like looked around and was like, oh yeah, I wish they were here. But Hollywood Studios gave me like the rush of energy that was like, I'm here. I'm so excited to be here. But at the same time, once we did Mickey and Minnie's, once we did Slinky Dog, once we walked through Galaxy's Edge, I was like,
Time to
okay,
head out. Yeah.
I'm done for the day. Like, nothing else to do. So that's still like, even 2 years later, is still hitting me like, okay, I've done this 1,000 times. Let's move on. Which is kind of crazy. We went to the boardwalk. I was talking to one of my old coworkers. She's still there, and she was like, "Yeah, I haven't been to Epcot in 30 years." And I was like,
I remember you talking to me about that. And I was like,
"It's like
what?
30 year. What do you do in your free time? What's the point of working at Disney if you don't go to the parks? Like, you don't get paid anything. Like, you need to use your advantage of something."
Free admission.
Um, yeah. But she has a life. I mean, obviously, I guess we didn't really have a life outside of Disney. We're like, she's a
Disney
full-time
was
person.
life that
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
And so she just like did her own, like she just had not been, I mean, she'd been to the other parks, I guess, but like hadn't been to Epcot in 30 years. And I was like, so much has changed. I know for a fact. You've missed two fireworks shows completely. Um, but I mean, maybe she just like isn't as big of a Disney nerd as I am. Maybe working there just like doesn't give you the same pull type of thing. Yeah, I mean, it really is different. I will say Disney is still overpriced with Genie Plus and all the new changes that have been coming since COVID, since the reopening. It's been even worse. I mean, we had
I
to
was about
pay
to
for
say
the
it's only going to
bus
get worse. Yeah.
from the airport. I do see myself continuing to talk about Disney, continuing to be invested in what Disney is doing at all times, focusing on new things in the park, researching every little thing I can. Unless I move down there, unless I have free tickets, something, I don't see myself paying to go down there for a while. Um, just because it's not Disney's gonna be there. It's not leaving. Um, if I want some merchandise, most of the time I can find it online. It's and I find more joy in people than I do places. And I think that is something that like really hit me on the plane ride back. For those of you who don't know, I hate flying. And so when I fly, I put headphones in and put my head back with my eyes closed and just listen carefully to my head, to the music playing in my headphones, anything like that. But I had time to think, and I think I really like I value people. And that's me. I value my friendships, I value my family. And so as much as I love Disney, as much as I love to talk about Disney, people that love Disney, like let's be friends. But unless I move there and I get a season pass or have free tickets, I can use that money to go and visit my friends that I haven't seen in a long time. And we can talk about Disney. We can talk about memories and make new memories in other places that might be cheaper than Disney or like might be a better, I don't know. Just like I just feel like it's the way it's going. Crowds are insane, not only with the 50th, but because right after COVID, like people are just taking vacations. They don't care anymore. They're all just going. There is no more downtime at Disney. And it was 100% not a relaxing trip for me. Like
Yeah.
it was go 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 the whole time. So I know that just got like really like feelings for a second, but
No, because I,
yeah,
I do want to kind of touch on that as well, because I do feel similar with how you feel. I didn't at the beginning, like as soon as we sadly had to go home because of COVID, didn't even finish my extension. I was like, I'm not done with this company at all. I wanted to live down there. I could slowly start seeing this like life like being painted in front of me. I could like have a vision on what I wanted to do with it, and then it just like I felt like it had just like got ripped out of my hands.
yeah,
So I think that's why I went back like 4 or 5 times. As soon as I had the money, I was like, let's go for a trip, because I went November of 20 and then I went May of 21. Well, no, so I guess I only went 4 times, I guess. May of 20, or yeah, November of 20, May of 21. I don't remember exactly the dates exactly anymore, but it was 4 times, I promise. But now after my most recent trip in September, like I still wanted to move down there, but it slowly started switching to, okay, Jeff, you've lived this dream, like you've accomplished this dream. Like my dream was to work at Disney one day. I didn't really give myself like a set standard on like, okay, like office job or corporate, just
yeah,
work for Disney one day, like be a cast member. And I did that. And no matter on what level it was. I worked at Oscar Super Service. I thought I was going to hate that location when I first figured it out. I was so dang proud of my location after being there for like 2 months. And I was like, I don't
mm,
care to pick up a shift anywhere else. I don't want to pick
yeah,
up a shift anywhere else. I only care about Oscars and Hollywood Boulevard. And now I agree with you how it's the tide slowly like shifting a little bit. And I love Disney to death. I was raised in a Disney loving family ever since my first trip at 5, 6 years old. And then now it's just like Disney is going to be there, is how I look at it. Like
yeah,
Disney's not going anywhere. It's huge. It's not going to go anywhere.
right.
I feel like I have to go chase like other dreams kind of thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a weird feeling. Like I think like post program, you almost kind of go through that on I've asked myself several times, and I think I ask myself this almost on anything that I do, especially my hobbies or something that I'm like super in love with. Not stuff that I have to do, but stuff that I want to do in my free time. But I
Yeah,
ask myself this frequently with Disney. Why do I love it so much? You
it's
know,
a good question. It's a
I like
good
step back
question.
and I'm like, why do I pay this much money to go to an amusement park for a week? So it's just weird. And
I think I can get similar enjoyment. I mean, obviously not like the adrenaline rush, not the food, not the like, oh, I'm at Disney World. But I think I can get similar happiness from going to the theater and seeing a new Disney movie with friends that has just come out.
yeah.
Sitting on my
And
couch and watching nostalgic Disney movies on Disney Plus, like
mhm.
on my own TV, like seeing that happiness. As much as I love the Lion King show, do you know how many recordings there are online of that show?
Yeah, very true.
You can watch, I mean, ride throughs that you can watch. I mean, obviously it's not the same feel, but just with prices and after being a cast member and loving being a cast member, doing everything that I possibly could while I was there. Yes, I want to go and do the new things that open. But if I wait 5, 10 years down the road, all of those new things are still going to be there. And there's going to be way more new things. And the new things right now will be old things at that point, and the lines won't be as long. Like,
Yeah, the only thing that's going to be long is the to-do list.
right.
So, I mean,
Which is fine.
Yeah, not to get like too sappy or anything like what you were saying, like, not to get too emotional, but
Sorry.
it's, but it's, I don't know. It's weird. And I think another thing that bothers me a lot as well is the people that I made magic with, like on my program. I didn't get along with all of them, but the ones that I did get along with are the ones that would tolerate me long enough to work with me through a 6 or 7 hour shift. Like, those are the memories I think of. When I think of Disney, I used to think of family trips. Now, when I think of Disney, and no offense, mom and dad, if you guys are listening, but now when I think of Disney, I think of those closing shifts, those moments of like, we're all going through hell right now. Like, it's so busy. We are tired. We just want to go home. We just want to rest. Christmas season is knocking us on our keisters.
Yeah.
But at the end of the night, we would all just come together and we would walk to our cars and all that. Like that, I think that is what I miss about Disney the most, and I'm never going to get that back. Just like our friend group of 6, we're never going to be. All 6 of us are never going to be centralized in one location for that amount of time ever again. Now, it might be for like reunion trips, because I know we're planning a reunion trip pretty soon, which I'm excited about. But
Yeah.
like, and I think that's the stuff that bothers me the most, is what I want from Disney is never going to exist again.
Yeah.
And I think I almost need like an emotional detachment. Like, I think I need to separate myself from the company for a little bit, like from the amusement parks for a little bit, to kind of enjoy Disney without having the DCP so in mind, or like so engraved in me, because it's like you know what I mean.
I honestly will say, like, I am in, like, the more and more I think about it, I am in awe of full-time Disney influencers, social media influencers.
Mhm.
The people that go to the parks every single day and they're like, oh, we're trying something new, we're doing this, we're doing that. How are you not just tired of the crowds? How are you not tired of seeing the same things every single day? I think one thing that like kind of hit me on my program, especially towards the end, but like even now, when you see Cinderella's castle every single day or like once a week, it's not as magical as it is if you see it once, if you
Exactly.
see it twice. And I think that's why it's so magical for some of the guests that come. Like, it's the most magical place on earth. People are coming once in their lifetimes. People are coming once every 5 years, every 10 years, like to this place. When they come back, they are like coming to a place that is out of this world. It's so different. You cannot find this anywhere else.
Absolutely.
When that is your entire life, like for me, when I was on the program, when I wasn't working, I was in the parks. Like Disney was my entire life for 6 months.
Mhm.
I did nothing else. And at the end, I was bored. I was tired of it. I was like, I've this roller coaster is in my backyard. I can ride it whenever I want. Being a cast member, like going, I could get in for free. I could do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And now it just like makes it a little less exciting when I go, but at the same time, I still love it because it brings like memories. It's the memories that I'm chasing, not the
I'm in the
like
same boat.
actual excitement.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, and I think the last trap. I think the last trip is when I truly realized that I was
Yeah.
just like, Jeff, it's not necessarily so much about, oh, I have to go to Disney to be happy. It's just like, Jeff, I think you're chasing something that doesn't exist anymore. Because I think truly the next time that I'll be, and don't get me wrong, like I am going on a Disney trip for when I graduate coming up, but
Right.
I don't think I think after maybe the next 1 or 2 trips, because I think I'm going on 2 trips this year. If we're actually able to do our reunion trip at the end of this year, 2022, to mark 3 years, it will be the trip in May and the trip at the end of this year as well. And then after that, I think I'm gonna be done for a while. Maybe until I actually,
Yeah.
I find somebody to marry and then we have kids and I get to live. Hopefully, my wife has gone to Disney before. If not, that'll also be exciting. But my wife and I can experience, taking our kids to Disney and I get to live through them. Like that's what I want to get to. I think that's the next time I'll be
Good.
truly excited to see that castle is when I look down
Because
and see my son, daughter, or both, and they're like in awe. And I'm like,
because
that's what
it's a
I look
new
like at
it's a new
6.
experience. It's new
Mhm.
for you. It makes it new and exciting again. You're not just doing something you've already done.
Yep.
So yeah.
And like you said as well before we close out as well, because it went from like the beginning of this podcast episode went from just like Disney trip, this is what we did, and then
Yeah.
we it's not necessarily like the dark side or the negative side of Disney, but I think we just got a little real on like how we feel about Disney. I mean, even if you love something, every once in a while you look at it and you're like, why do I love this? Or like
Mhm.
why do I do this? Or I think it's okay to realize the flaws in something you love and
Oh
the
yeah.
flaws in yourself on why you love it as well. But what I was going to say is, when you were saying I could save up money to go see friends, I met so many friends from the Disney
Oh
World
yeah.
program.
Yeah. Yeah.
I, now that I'm capable of, or pretty soon by the time I graduate and then um like get a career and everything going like relatively soon, I need to just go see some of my friends. Like I need to see you and AJ for sure for a guy's trip. I need to go see
Yeah.
Lauren, Miranda, and Kylie for sure. I need to go see numerous other friends. Like I have friends in Brazil, I have friends in Norway, like etc.
Yep.
So it's just like instead of going to Disney, why can't I go see those people in their countries and talk to them about, the good old days, or they get to show me around and we get to
Yeah.
hang out for a week or however long I want to stay there.
Yeah.
I think that almost sounds like a better plan. Love Disney to death. We got a little real there for a second. But yeah. And exactly like for the people that's not, watching us on YouTube right now, listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, great. You had the perfect look there for a second. You had, a small smirk / grin on your face and you're looking down at the floor because you're thinking about the memories right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's a good place to close. I will
Absolutely.
say
Before we
to
start
everyone
crying.
listening, I know we talked about like our lives at Disney. It's not the same, and it's not. We have a lot of great memories there, and it's like that's just where our lives have gone. But don't worry, the Goofy Scoop is not going anywhere. We're not quitting. We're not giving up. And we're gonna keep talking about what's going on in the parks. We have a lot more topics that have come out from ideas from the trip that I went on. Just going back, so we have a lot to come. But it's just sometimes you just need an episode to get real.
Yeah,
Sometimes that's all
absolutely.
you need.
Yeah, which I think will also, I mean, I don't know if you've been scouting guests or anything. I definitely have. I'm not going to drop any names or anything, of course, on these possible future special guests. But I've had a couple of them hit me up and they'll be like, "Yeah, I'll be a guest on the Goofy Scoop podcast, but I am not going to hold back. Like, I'm going to be real on your podcast." And I'm like, "That's
Yeah.
absolutely fine." Because I mean, I don't want anything fake. I want everything to be real. So if you got something against Disney and you're going to special guest on the podcast with Gray and I, so be it. We'll have a discussion. I don't care. But I mean, yeah, future guests coming up. Like Gray said, Goofy Scoop's not going anywhere. But yeah, go ahead and definitely check us out on Instagram at the Goofy Scoop. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. This episode is also going to mark the end of season 1 with the Goofy Scoop podcast, guys. We're going to take a small break in between season 1 and season 2. Gray's a pretty busy guy. I know I'm a pretty busy guy. I'm finishing up with my last final weeks as a college student as well, so I'm about to graduate, have a little bit more free time. So I wanted to just kind of not necessarily put the Goofy Scoop on the back burner, but I wanted to take time to prepare and have a really good season 2
with getting the ball rolling on the Goofy Scoop podcast. We have plenty of guests to come. We have a list of topics that Gray and I have created as well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed all 15 episodes here on Season 1, and we hope to see you guys real soon on Season 2.